Hey, it's me, Renee. I'm back. Yeah, I had planned to film this yesterday or day before yesterday, but life happened. So it's going up before end of day, but it's going up way later than my usual videos. But yeah, so today, as you can see from slightly from the title, today is Disney Plus Day. So they're going to and they have announced a lot of things. Uh, slightly my idea of like filming this before today was I kind of wanted to talk about things I wanted to see. Now they already have announced a lot of stuff, so a lot of stuff that I wanted to talk about has been announced. So I can just kind of talk about how I liked it, but I can't really talk about I want something to happen because it's happened. But yeah, I'm gonna talk about some stuff related to that, and yeah. So blah blah blah. I kind of want to talk about not just like often people think Disney Plus, they think automatically Disney animation, or they think Disney Marvel. Well, Marvel, um, it's just been around in Disney for a few years now, but it is Disney now. Or they think Star Wars. But I mean, and that's true. Disney's that, but Disney's all those things. And one of the things I want to talk about first is Hulu. So, well, I suppose Hulu isn't really a thing here in a way, but like Only Murders in the Building came on Disney Plus. So I'm thinking that the things that come on Hulu in the United States come on Disney Plus. Kind of things like that way. And also like seems like kind of being like what we have on Star is what you have on Hulu. I'm thinking it is. I think that's what it is. And yeah, so one of the things I very much enjoyed recently from Disney Plus was Only Murders in the Building. It was a delight. It was so fun to see Steve Martin and what's the other guy? That other Martin guy. Oh, the two old guys, and Selena Gomez, and all the mysterious things behind, well, around the murder or murderers. And yeah, I really enjoyed that series very much. So I kind of thinking in a kind of relationship and in context to that, also side note, not side note, a little digression. As you might have guessed, a lot of this video is going to be me talking about books that were made to movies or TV series. Surprise! But yeah, so someone, I'm not really sure who said it, but someone said that Heather Wells, the sorry, the book series by Meg Cabot, is similar to Only Murders in the Building. I wouldn't say it's very similar. They're both set in New York, and they both have one female youngish character, and that's well, youngish, sorry, young. They're both young, but I would say that's more or less it. But still, well, still, they both have like a comedic, but also a serious tone to it. So I suppose there are some elements that are similar. But yeah, still, Heather Wells. I really think those books would be very cool to see adapted either as a movie or TV series. So yeah, having them as a TV series, like having 10 episodes each book, I think would be very cool. And yeah, I'm kind of hoping that would happen. Please, Disney, please, pretty please. Yep. And yeah, here I plan to talk about more stuff that I kind of want to see on Hulu, like so like stuff that's kind of not too uh, not too dramatic. I mean, still fits on Disney, but it's kind of more adult. Well, more adult because yeah, I mean, murders, you don't really have that many murders in Disney for 8-year-olds. Well, Lion King, but yeah, you know. Um, but yeah, and also like I looked at my shelves to kind of find the adult books. And I do know I've been starting to read much more adult books these last few years, but I must have Thief because I cannot for the life of me find many of them. So yeah. Also, I kind of decided I'm gonna do like a whole section. I'm thinking at the end because there's a lot of books that I kind of think would be cool to have made by Disney. And this is not just like Disney Plus, but also like if they made if Disney made this as Disney Plus TV series um or a movie, like big blockbuster movie, because Disney does that as well. I think it will be cool, like either way. But yeah, I'm gonna have a lot of those, so I'm gonna talk about those later. And yeah, moving on to Marvel. Initially, I was going to say She-Hulk. Kind of wanted some She-Hulk news. We got She-Hulk news. Footage. I actually haven't seen it yet, but I really want to. So I'm gonna see it probably after this. Um, but yeah, I kind of want to see Nova. I'm not quite sure if Nova is announced, rumored, or in pre-production. I do know it's been talked about sometimes with like Feige when his interviews. But yeah, I'm not quite sure if it's rumored or if it's actually happening. But yeah, I've kind of looked into Nova, and it looks like a quite fun character. And yeah, I very much enjoy Guardians of the Galaxy and those space adventures. So more from that is gonna be cool. I mean, we kind of know when we're gonna get more because Eternals, Captain Marvel, etc., etc. But yeah, Nova seems like a fun character, and yeah, I want to see that one. Other than that, honestly, I don't really. Probably should have thought a bit more there, but yeah, yeah, I was about to say no, but I actually have one more Marvel thing. So Squirrel Girl, it was actually supposed to be a Young Avengers TV series a few years ago, and then nothing happened. They were actually cast quite a few people, but then it didn't happen. So yeah, why Disney? Why? But yeah, I think just having simply a Squirrel Girl TV series, yeah, I think a TV series will work very well on Disney Plus. And I mean, she's a great role model. She's so wholesome, and I love her stories. Well, most of her stories, but I mean, is there any series that you love all the series in, all the books in? Don't really think so. But yeah, Squirrel Girl really needs to be adapted. Please, please, Disney gods. And yeah, so Nova and Squirrel Girl for Marvel. Other than that, I don't really have any more Marvel like wishes really. And yeah, so then we're gonna move on to animation. What everyone always thinks when I think Disney. So yeah, regarding this, I'm kind of like a bit like, I'm kind of interested in whatever they get up because I mean that all the Disney animation movies are good in some way or another. They are either good or amazing. Um, and also like I know some people like I've seen some people talk about when they do movie reviews, they don't really have not much knowledge of the fairy tales before they become made by Disney. When I grew up, I had a lot of fairy tale books, and I read a lot of them. And yeah, so like my favorite fairy tale when I was a kid was actually Rapunzel and the Snow Queen. For a long time, they didn't have a Disney movie, but then we got Tangled and Frozen. So yeah, now I don't really have a animation story that I need to happen, but I do kind of think that I mean I'm thinking I'm thinking that in my head, I'm thinking that they could easily go to Aarhus Andersen, you know, the author behind Little Mermaid and Frozen. So they already used two of his stories. He wrote a lot of stories, quite a few. Well, honestly, all of them ended like bittersweet. Like they ended in a sad but happy way, kind of in Pixar, but like more tragic, really. So I suppose they will have to change their ending, but Disney always does that. I'm kind of leaning towards the Tin Soldier. That one has always been a favorite of mine. And yeah, I enjoy that one. Other than that, I'm kind of thinking that if they can like go to myths, I mean, there's a lot of myths around the world that you can choose from and use. I really enjoyed Moana. That was like myths I had no idea about, but I loved that. Yeah, loved that movie. Haven't rewatched that in ages, but yeah. So that. Also, here's something that I should have said earlier. Well, I don't really know whether this fits, but like at this point in time, actually, Disney Plus has quite a few Cinderella movies, both like the animation one, but also live action versions. They have the brand new one. They have the one from no, I was supposed to say the one from this year, but that was Amazon. They have Ever After, and they have a Cinderella story. Of those, Ever After is my absolute fave. I love it, and I'm kind of thinking, actually, I'm kind of hoping, thinking that you can actually easily do a spin-off of Ever After, because at the end she talks about how Cinderella, how Ella, she got many kids and grandkids, and etc. etc. So I'm thinking that you could make a spin-off where you have her daughter going to university in France, being one of the first people who go to university in France. So meeting like one of the first females who does that, and she would meet, of course, some idiotic men, but also maybe she could fall for a female. I think that would be cool. Or like anyway, like yeah, so like having another uh, another movie written by the same writer, because that script is so amazing. It's just so cool. So yeah, having another fairy tale ish story set around that world, in that world, would be very cool. So yeah, that's kind of something I really want to see. And yeah, that's kind of it with that. And um then I have two books I'm gonna go over to book adaptions. I have two books that I don't like. Well, a lot of the books I have, so I'm gonna show you. But two books that I don't have, I don't really know where they are. I think one of them might have given away. One of them I do know I have, but can't find it. So yeah. But yeah, one of them is sorry, sorry. One of them is All American Girl. Came out actually like 2007 or something. So it's old. I kind of feel like weird saying that something from 2007 is old, but it's not the newest, so it's oldish. But yeah, it's written by Meg Cabot. Once upon a time, fun fact. Once upon a time, I think more or less all the books were supposed to be adapted, and then just three of them ended up being adapted. One we don't talk about. But yeah, two of them being was adapted more or less fairly and not that awful. But yeah, she was supposed to have more of her books adapted, and then stuff like that didn't happen. But yeah, okay. So a synopsis for All American Girl. So there's this girl. She's 14. Yeah, 14. It's been a while since I read it, but like I remember the gist of it. She's 14. She lives in Washington D.C. She walks down the street one day, and she sees a car that's about to hit a guy who's walking into the street who's not really looking. So she jumps across the guy to kind of stop like this guy from being killed. What happens? This guy is the son of the American president. And then yeah, romance ensues. So I suppose it's slightly in the same vein as My Date with the American Daughter, with the president's daughter, and also The President's Daughter. You know, those two movies from way back when. I think they're both Disney movies. One of them is a Disney Channel movie. The other one, not quite sure. One of those was Katie Holmes, and the other one was with uh, that woman I'm blanking on. The one from This Is Us. Manny Moore. No? Yes, Manny Moore. It's Manny Moore. And yeah, and I'm just kind of thinking like, oh, American Girl is just such a cool concept and cool idea and book and story. I think that one being adapted would just kind of just a no-brainer. No-brainer. So clear no-brainer. And then, as I already mentioned, Disney always already have a lot of Disney. Disney already has a lot of Disney. Disney already has a lot of uh, Cinderella adaptations. But hey, people always enjoy Cinderella. So what's more? So now I'm going to talk about. Well, now I'm talking about Geekerella. So it came out 4 years ago, a few years ago, and it's a modern day retelling of Cinderella, set in a geek community. So there's this kind of Comic Con environment vibe to it, and you have like this fan fiction things, and you have this guy who's playing in a adaptation of a famous TV series, and mistaken identities, kind of you got mail-ish, and yeah, stuff happens, and it's adorable, and yeah, it needs to be made to movies. Come on, you need to do it. There's also actually a second book in the series, which is a retelling of the Princess and the Prince and the Pauper. Second one wasn't that good, but still a cool book. So like good idea. So I mean, adaptation will be quite fun of it. So yeah, and then yeah, and I'm gonna go for books now, and then you know what? As I said, I'm gonna end with the books, and I'm gonna give you first like. So I talked about the this one first one is like this kind of more like a idea, and this one is kind of connected to some Marvel stuff. So often, more or less always, when people are interviewed, in regards to Marvel movies, they talk about like, oh, I can say that, I can say that, I can say I'm in it, and I have scenes, and that's it. I mean, they can't really say that much, and like, no, if I say more, there's like snipers around, like they always like talk about how the snipers are around, like watching them, like, so I'm thinking like, wouldn't it kind of fun to well, this doesn't need to be a movie, but like maybe do like a Comic Con thing where you have like actor talking about a movie, and then a sniper trying to shoot him, and then a bit like a fun thing around that. Though I mean, fun thing around snipers is probably a bit uncalled for. But what I also kind of thought, you could like turn it around, and you could like have like twist it. So you could have like the main person, he's an actor, he's talking about a movie, he says something that he shouldn't say, and then he's in in the shooting line, but he's not shot with like a bullet, he's shot with water, like a water gun. Or maybe to be more dramatic, it's what's the word again? Kind of like a bullet, kind of like to tip on my tongue. Tranquilizer. It tranquilizes you. It puts you to sleep, but nothing more happens. And then I'm not sure what else will happen, but something else would happen. So we kind of like a parody on Hollywood and the Hollywood industry. I think that would be kind of fun, cool to think to see. And it's been really a while. Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen a cool, good parody movies, and I really enjoy those. So yeah, um, so yeah, that's that. And then I just kind of want to give my 2 cents now. Like you have uh, those ideas being thrown around the movies, thrown out around the internet now and then. How like you should have a movie with Terry Crews and Vin Diesel. They're both into comic books, but they don't want the other one to know. And there's like that whole thing. But also this idea of Elijah Wood and Daniel Radcliffe being a movie together, but Daniel playing Elijah and Elijah playing Daniel, and they're both kind of evil people or something around that. That also sounds so cool. And yeah, other than that, also I actually have one more. It's original. Yeah, I think it's kind of original idea really. So you have so many quizzes in Hollywood now, well, in the world really. Having a movie where all the quizzes place, like Chris Evans, Chris Pratt, Chris Pine, Hughes Hemsworth, all of them, but also Include Christina Hendricks, include some Christinas. That would be cool. Like, you can't just have a movie just with men. That's I suppose you can, but yeah, I mean, you can't need both. And then they might maybe they play like a character that all has the original name Jonathan. One goes by John, one goes by Jack, one goes by Johnny. Kind of fun. Other than that, I don't really have any more plot to that one, but yeah. So yeah, that's my ideas around that, like talking thingy. And now I'm going to talk about show the books because, as I said, quite a few. Um, did I just simply forget myself and just pick out all the books I want to see made into movies? Maybe, but a lot of these I think kind of work with the Disney vibe. So yeah, and also, what's the name? Something else? Well, I don't think I am. Okay, let's. Yeah, also yeah. I said I didn't say as a thought. But yeah, I'm gonna say there's quite a lot of these. You might probably have seen in the other videos. But yes, a lot of these. So I'm just gonna show them and then maybe give 1-2 words. That's it. Because if I talk too much, this is gonna be way too much of a long video, and it's only quite long. Well, I mean, YouTubers like long videos, but I don't know if you like watching me talk so long, but I want to film it. I have filmed it, so yeah. Boo hoo for you. If you don't want to see it, you can see how long the video is when you click on it. So yeah. Let's start. You know what? I forgot about. Yeah, you know what? So I have before I go to the books I own, I have some books that I know that uh, Disney could easily do. Okay, that's a bit wrong. Okay, wait, give me a moment. So in addition to like having Disney Plus, to having the Disney parks, to having Marvel, to having Pixar, to having Fox now, to having also Hulu. I mean, Disney owns everything now, more or less. But they also own a publishing company, Disney Hyperion, which publishers, well, publishers published lots of books. Duh. So yeah, I'm kind of thinking like, if you own a publishing company, I mean, couldn't you easily go there to like make movies from that? And yeah, I'm kind of like, at, at this point in time, we don't really know what's kind of the plan, like a big plan for Disney Plus. We know that they make content, yeah, but like Netflix now more or less like they have like more or less a new movie out every month. No, they have quite a few movies out every month. They have TV series, everything. They have reality shows, all that jazz. So like, how often like is Disney Plus gonna go like kind of going to expand and like have more every month? Because I don't really think they have so much as Netflix has at this moment in time. And if they're gonna go expand so much, easily, so many fun books to adapt. So yeah, so the first one I'm going to talk about regarding that is Kingdom Keepers. Now, not critical here because I haven't actually read this series. I heard lots of good things about it, but I haven't read it. So the concept of Kingdom Keepers is that it's a middle grade, and it's these kids they go to Disneyland after dark, and it's kind of like National Museum-ish because the villains come alive. So that's quite I love that idea. So yeah. There's actually one book here that I actually own, so I want to use it afterwards. Um, this one I actually also own, and then also the Queen's Council. So this one I will actually also own it. I haven't read it yet, so yeah, and I can't be bothered to get it now. But yeah, so this actually came out 2 years ago now. Yeah, 2 years ago. And it's part of this new series where you have different authors writing sequels. Well, it is sequels to Disney movies. So you have it's called Queen's Council because it's set after the Disney movies, and after quite a lot of these Disney movies, the princesses become queens because they marry prince, and then because of how things shape up, they become queens. So this first one is Rebel Rose. It's, as you can expect, a Beauty and the Beast centered story. So this one is it's set just after the movie. She's become a queen, and also the French Revolution is happening. So yeah, so all these books will also like have a historical aspect to them, and yeah, having that as a movie, yeah, I think that would be so cool. Live action animation, I'm not quite sure. Maybe it would be fun to do live action, but yeah. Yeah, I own it. Haven't read it yet. I have a big TBR. Okay, okay. Don't nag me. Yeah. And then we have another book I own. I haven't finished yet. I started. But yeah. The Curse of the Spectre Queen. The first in a series. It's been described as Indiana Jones, but like female. And it's set in 1920s, and it's swashbuckling, but also like some fantasy bit into it. So it's not just historical, but also fantasy elements to it. And yeah, I think that would be just so cool to see. And that is that of like these books. And now I'm gonna go about these books. And yeah, as I said, quite a lot of you, so get ready, yourself some tea, and enjoy. So first we have 10 Blind Dates by Ashley Elston. This came out 2 years ago. It's a cute contemporary set around Christmas. Netflix has a lot of Christmas movies. Hallmark has a lot of Christmas movies. Disney could easily also do their own like take on the Christmas market. People love Christmas movies, and I think it's the more the merrier. So Christmas YA, I think will work very cool, very well. And then I'm just gonna get them ready. Invisibility by Andrew Kramer and David Leviathan. It's about Stephen. He's invisible. Elizabeth can see him, and no one else can. Everyone else in the world can hear him, Stephen. No one else can see him. He's cursed. And it's set in modern day New York. And yeah, it's just an amazing read. And yeah, I think it will be an amazing movie. A Thousand Pieces of You by Claudia Gray. Multiverses and multiple churches, multiple lives, and yeah, alternate universes. Isn't that cool? Girl at Sea, Adventure at Sea, and Cool Cute Boys. Boys. Love a la mode. Uh, Teenagers making food in France, baking and also making, baking also making, like making food but also baking. So cute. And really, this is a damn disgrace, but at this point in time, no one has made any electrical movies, like books, movies based on no books. But yeah, so like this is just kind of, this is her latest book, but I'm kind of thinking like all her books should be made to movies, but also like at least like this series, it's Reluctant Royals, or this is Runaway Royals, but it's the same universe. It kind of have like it kind of has a Disney-ish vibe. So yeah, works so well. Then you have Save the Date, Morgan Matson, YA romance, contemporary, so cute, so amazing, so funny. Then you have The Marked Girl by Lindsay Kingela, portal fantasy, very scary villain, but also just it's set in New York and beautiful setting and amazing story, and yeah. Spirits in the Park. So this is a middle grade. So can't think Percy Jackson-ish, but it's not. Instead of having instead of having Greek gods or North gods, this one has historical people being gods, but also there's Fae, and yeah, very good, very cool. Brightly Burning. This is a Jane Eyre retelling set in space. Would be amazing. I'm thinking. Finicking of the Rock. YA high fantasy. Very, very cool. I know that Disney is doing Willow, so they could probably like find lots of cool other fantasies to do, and this being easily one of them. Then we have Diary of a Confused Feminist by Kate Wesson. This is set in England, and Disney being Disney, they would probably set this in the United States if they made it. But I mean, I suppose it wouldn't be that bad. But maybe they would set in England. I mean, I don't really understand why like they often like they buy these books by British authors and that has readers all over the globe. But when they adapted it, they changed it to being set in the United States for no reason really whatsoever. It's weird. It's weird. Fire by Kristen Cashore, or in other words, the Graceling series. Yeah, it's not been made to a movie yet. It was supposed to years ago. Hasn't. Needs to happen. Spoiler alert by Olivia Dade. This is an adult book, so yeah, I have some adult books here. This as in addition to other girl books. And yeah, this could work on Hulu or just kind of as a big screen thing. And yeah, lovely romance. Next, I have a few, I have two weird suggestions, but bear with me, Not bear, but like stay with me. So the book Love is Miscellany. So this is just a book with lists and kind of facts about books. So there's no story here, but like they made a movie like 10 years ago based on the book. Yeah, he's not that into you. And they also made a movie based on the book What to Expect When You're Expecting. Both of those are non-fiction and they're not really narrative related. So I'm thinking you can use this one and kind of like either do like inspiration like loosely based, or you can like have like a series of like small miniseries with like or like the fictionalization of the people in this book, or like the people like important people in book history, and I don't know, something. I think that would be quite cool. And the same thing, more weird things customers say in bookstores. This is just quotes, people saying stuff in bookstores. I mean, you could make like a miniseries of like 3 episodes, 5 episodes maybe, of like a bookstore, or then like you could have like 2, 3 bookstores, and they could communicate and just talk about how weird customers are. That could happen. And then you have more of the rom-coms. Snow in Love, YA Christmas rom-com. This has 3 stories and they're not connected. But I suppose you could. Make them connected. Not that really you need, but yeah. And yeah, if you want to kind of get in on that Christmas romance market, choose this one, Disney, please. And then another adult book. I have some of them in here. Where have all the men gone? Sorry, boys gone? This is about how a lot of the boys in London are single, or men. So the character Katie in this book, she ends up going to Scotland to like find a man because, because all the men in London are taken. Well, either taken or gay. It's a bit generalizing, but yeah, that's kind of like the plot and the start of this book. And yeah, quite cute, fun romance. And yeah, this was also supposed to be made to movie years ago. Has it happened? Well, none of these books has been made because if they had, I wouldn't talk about it. But yeah, but like people, have everyone in the whole world lost their minds? I mean, this would be amazing as a movie, like several movies as a franchise. People are just crazy, but I'm just gonna mention it. Heist Society by Ali Carter. Teen Thieves. I mean, it's just amazing, and they go around Europe, stealing stuff. It's just the quippiness, the romance, the mystery. It's amazing. I mean, it's also like this. It's contemporary, so you wouldn't really need that much money. You could, I suppose, actually, I think that also like you don't really need also known faces because like the concept of thieves like going around stealing stuff is just so cool. Everyone loves a heist movie, and it being contemporary makes it easier, not that expensive um, to shoot, as in like in contrast to fantasy movies. So Hollywood, Disney, please, please. Then we have an old favorite of mine, Old Magic. Came out now 21 years ago. It came out in 2000. 1999? 2000? This one. Thinking maybe 99? No, 2000. So it's 21 years old. No one's made a movie of it yet. I mean, yeah, this time travel and magic. But still, I mean, there's lots of fancy movies out there. So this one, please, please. It's just amazing. The story is amazing. It's just, I mean, someone needs to adapt this. Yeah. I suppose this part of the video can just kind of be me ranting about why these aren't adapted yet. But yeah. And then we have Valkyrie Rising. So this is a Norse myth, as you can probably see. It's actually standalone. It's also actually set in Bergen, in Norway. That's quite fun. Set during a summer, and Loki is the villain, so you have lots of people who want to see it because of that. And yeah, it's the boy next door romance, and yeah, it's just so good. Yes, it's fantasy, so you need some CGI and all that stuff. Like, I mean, Game of Thrones, you have the Vikings, I mean, you have lots of like expensive things out in the world. So, I mean, I don't really think this needs to be that expensive. And please, please. Then we have, oops, Jane in Love. Now I talked about this one when I did wrap up of it a few months ago. So actually, yeah, regarding this one, it would need to be changed the ending because the ending in this one. But yeah, other than that, it's just very good. So yeah, I'm thinking it would be very cool to see adapted by this. Then we have Kissing Shakespeare, a time travel where she ends up finding a young Shakespeare. Time travel and standalone, and yeah. I mean, please, please. Then we have Dark Mirror, or the oops, or sorry, or in other words, this whole series, which is three books. It's a trilogy. It's time travel. They time travel from the 1880s to the 1940s. So it's kind of fun to like have it that way. But there's also magic, and there's aristocracy, and yeah, it's just an amazing series. I mean, it's just kind of screaming in my head, screaming to be adapted. And so far, no one's done it. I don't really think people talk about it at all, really, that much. So people need to read this book as well. Like a lot of its books, like are known and stuff, but like this isn't that well known, and people need to pick it up. Come on, come on. And then Then we have the last batch here. Then we have Dangerous Alliance by Jennifer Nikkei Cohen. This think Jane Austen, but more for teens. There's also a bit of mystery in here, but mainly it's more like romance and mystery elements here and there. And yeah, lovely. I mean, after Bridgerton, everyone kind of thinking like everyone wants like to find some new, cool, hip, historical thing to adapt. You could do this easily. Then we have the distance between us, or in other words, Casey West books. All the books are contemporary. Well, most of the books are contemporary, and they're also quite short, but like they're contemporary YA. Most of them set in summer, so like they're kind of daydreamy and cute and adorable stories, but also like with some depth to them. So yeah, easily no brainer. And then you have Assumption, which I actually saw, or like the other day, I actually saw that they're actually re-releasing this series next year. So does that mean that they might be making it to a movie? I mean, it's it's blurbed as for fans of Downton Abbey, like for teens, and that's quite true. It's quite how it is. And yeah, it's a trilogy. I've read the first two. This third book is been sold out all like forever. Hopefully now it will be released as well. Then we have another Christmas story. It is in a moment because this is Norwegian, so it's called in English. Called in English. Called in English. And it's called A Gift in December. So this is all about how so Norway every year we give a Christmas tree to the city of London because the city of London, or like the English, helped us under the Second World War. And because of that, we always give them a big tree for Christmas in December. So this is about some journalists going to Norway to kind of do a uh, do a story on that one, and then romance ensues, and also mystery. A slight mystery ensues, and yeah, quite a lovely, nice story. And yeah, and then we have another retelling, uh, Pride and Prejudice retelling for teens. And yeah, it's just lovely. Prom and Prejudice. And yeah. And then we have Truly Madly Deeply, kind of very much like Disney Channel ish story. So will work perfectly well at Disney Plus. Please, please. And then we have Frog Kisser by Garth Nix. It's a retelling of a specific story. It's more like a remix of general fairy tale tropes, which I mean, sometimes Disney likes to make fun of themselves. Enchanted being one of them, and yeah, adapting this one would be just so cool. And then we have mermaids, historical mermaids, mermaids set in 1920s America. It's a trilogy. I just have the first two books because life. Again, the third book has been forever out of print, and I can't find it everywhere. So, yeah. And then we have just three more books. Then we have Wake Unto Me. It's a very cute fairy tale-ish story. It's a love story between a ghost and a human, and it's a haunted old mansion, and yeah, very cute love story. Impossible love. Spoiler, they end up together. And yeah, and then you have Starry Nights by Daisy Whitney, A Night at a Museum for Teens. The art comes alive, and more happens in Paris. And To Have and to Hoax. So, like for those Bridgerton fans, This is a rom-com, but it's historical. And yeah, it's very funny. And yeah, and that, my dear friends, is the end of that video. I hope you stuck through it. If not, I don't blame you. If you have any thoughts on Disney, on any of these books, on Marvel, what have you, if you just want to say hi, do that in the comments, and I'll see you later. Bye.